Whether it's a childhood toy, a piece of retro tech, or even a steam engine, there's something so satisfying about taking something old and making it new. Seeing life breathed into something that had been neglected for so long is so rewarding. There's a whole genre of YouTube videos about people restoring old objects, and one of my most popular videos is about restoring an old train set. So, since people seem to like these types of videos, I thought I'll try my hand at another model train restoration. This all started back in 2022. Shortly after I built my Lionel Edward, I bought this Lionel 060 on eBay, intending to use its chassis for an upcoming project. As I remember, the listing labeled it as damaged and a non-runner, so I figured I could salvage it for parts. However, when I got the engine, it actually ran, and surprisingly well too. The model was damaged like the listing said, but it was mostly cosmetic, no problems to the motor like I had expected. This left me in a conundrum. I had a functioning chassis to use, but I'd have to dismantle a model in relatively good condition. After sitting on it a while, I opted to keep the model, with plans to eventually restore it. Jump to mid-2023, I decided to do some research on the model that I had, and am I glad that I decided not to scrap it. This model is Denver and Rio Grande number 101, the first large-scale model produced by Lionel. The model came about from a partnership with Delton, a now-defunct model railway company. They designed the model based on their Mason bogie locomotive, and Lionel manufactured it. The model released in 1987 as part of a set titled the Gold Rush Special, which featured the locomotive, a gondola car, and a caboose. Several variations of this set do exist, but number 101 was the first, and would go on to influence Lionel's other large-scale models. Now that I fully understood what it is that I had, restoring the model became my top priority. The locomotive was mostly intact, it was just missing a few separately fitted items. The bell, a grease cup, flagstaff, handrails, steps, and a cylinder cap. And looking at pictures of the set, the only other accessories I needed to get were the gondola, caboose, and figurine. And so, over the next couple of months, I began collecting all the parts needed to restore the Gold Rush Special. Whenever I need parts for a project, there are generally two places I check, eBay and Trains.com. Trains is a great model railway resource. It has accessories from a wide variety of brands and for all different scales of model railways. The website has been pretty helpful for most of my projects, and anything I can't find there I can usually find on eBay. Fortunately, I was able to find most of the parts I was looking for, with the exception of the step pieces. I eventually opted to use the steps from the Lionel Thomas, since both models use the same chassis. In my search, I actually came across this Lionel brochure advertising the Gold Rush Special. It wasn't essential to the restoration, but I thought it was something pretty cool, so I bought it as well. It shows off the complete set and lists all features on the center page, shows a scale picture of the model on the left, and the Pennsylvania variation of the set on the right. With the loco now completed, finding the rolling stock was the next objective. One of the downsides of modeling in large scale is the price, particularly with secondhand sellers. A lot of the gondolas and cabooses I saw were selling for $40 to $50 each, not including shipping. But luckily I was able to find the listing selling both of them for a pretty good price. And boy is it nice to add some diverse rolling stock to my collection. I love their distinct colors and all the little details added to them. They definitely stand out among my collection. You might notice that the Denver gondola reuses the tooling from the Thomas set's troublesome truck. Or should I say the troublesome truck reuses the tooling from the Denver gondola. There are slight differences between the two, but otherwise they are exactly the same. The caboose is probably the coolest piece of rolling stock I currently own. That's because it's a lighted caboose. If you slide back this door and put batteries in this black box, you can illuminate the inside of the caboose, which gives it a nice look in the dark, especially with the locomotive's headlamp. But of course, the bulb wasn't included with my caboose, and so I had to go out and find one, which wasn't easy. I found tons of results on Trains and eBay, but I wasn't sure if they were the specific bulb I needed. I was going off pictures of the caboose that had the bulb visible, but as it was not the focus of the picture, it was hard to tell. Eventually though, my search did prove fruitful. You see, I had found an official Lionel parts list for the Gold Rush Special, which documented each part, its item number, and where it fit on the model. I found where the bulb was, searched it up, and found exactly what I needed. The Gold Rush Special was really coming together. It was at this point that I noticed something interesting about my model. The side rods are the wrong color. In all the pictures I've seen, the side rods are completely silver, but it appears that the previous owner had painted mine red. I don't dislike the red, in fact it makes it look like an LGB logo. It just seems like a strange addition to make. It's not really worth the effort to scrub off the paint or even replace the side rods altogether, so I'll just keep them how they are. The only thing left was to add the engineer to the cab. I found the engineer in a Lionel figure pack with 5 additional figures, a conductor, 2 firemen, and 2 more engineers. So now I had a variety of figures to place on the cab and even in the caboose. And with that, the Gold Rush Special is complete. Well, almost. There are a few obscure parts from the set that I just couldn't find. A reversing rod, the gemstones for the lanterns, and the steps that I had to substitute for Thomas's. So I'd say it's like 99% done. I may add those missing parts in the future, but they're not that integral to the model, and frankly, I'm happy with how it is right now. So let's commemorate its restoration by giving it a run on the tracks. Hey guys, thank you for watching the video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I know it's been a while since my last custom model video, but I can now say that I have started work on my next custom Thomas model. I've got a donor Thomas right here all ready to go. 2023 was a busy year for me. I moved house, I graduated, I went out of the country, I had eye surgery, so needless to say, I didn't have as much time to dedicate to working on the model. But in 2024, I should have a lot more free time to work on it. I can't exactly say when I'll have it finished. Edward took me around 8 months to complete, and this will likely take me longer, but I'll be sure to keep you guys updated here on YouTube and on my new Instagram. I'll be occasionally posting about the model's progress, so be sure to follow me there. As for who the next model is, I don't want to give too much away, but let's just say he's square.